So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today we will discuss basically retail banking. Clear, in a retail banking, this is basically first session on the government schemes. Clear, as basically as when we will see the previous year examinations, we will see that basically every year they will ask 10 to 15 questions basically on the government schemes. Clear, we will expect questions on the government schemes. Clear, like last year they will ask case study on the APY, and some one or two question on PM PM SVY. Clear. So they are asking basically different questions on government schemes. Clear. So basically we have to know all the facts. Clear, because these are basically those schemes which we use, basically which all of you basically use frequently, basically in your daily life. Clear. These these schemes are continuously promoting in the newspapers or in the televisions. Clear. So these are very, very important. So let's discuss one by one. Clear. First of all, we will discuss our first scheme. As you see on the screen, there are basically, you are seeing that basically there are like street vendors. Clear. They are like street vendors. Clear. So our first scheme name, please tell anyone what is the name of this scheme, basically, which is regarded to street vendors. I request to all of you, please participate. Your participation will help you to more mark scoring in the examination. Clear? Because I think all of you are aware regarding these schemes. Clear? So can anyone tell basically what is this scheme which is related to the street vendors? Clear? Street vendors, because every year they have asked different questions from this scheme. So can anyone tell basically what is the name of the scheme? The name of the scheme is PM SVANidhi. And we will expect one or two questions from this scheme, because from last 1.5 years, this scheme is in highlight. Clear? Highlights. So let's discuss on this scheme, and I request to all of you, please participate. Clear? Please share your knowledge. It is important for all of us. Clear? So let's start PM SVANidhi. Clear? PM SVANidhi basically full form is PM Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi. Clear? Street Vendor Atmanirbhar Nidhi. Clear? This is the full form of PM SVANidhi. Clear? You have to remember that. Next one is basically it is a micro credit facility. Clear? Second point you have to remember that basically it is a special micro credit facility for a street vendors. Clear? It is a micro credit facility. Here it is a micro credit facility basically for the street vendors. And basically very, very important, this question also. This scheme is launched by which ministry? Basically MOHUA. Mostly you will find this Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Clear? Basically this is a scheme by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Clear? This scheme is basically introduced by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Clear? And I request to all of you, please, whenever you go through any topic, try to understand the concept. Clear? Try to go through the theory rather than questions. Clear? Questions will never help you to score the marks in the examination. If you go through the theory and after that you will attempt question, definitely you will able to understand the concept also and give the correct answer. Clear? That's why we will first focus on theory. Next one. Clear? First of all, this is the full form. It is a microcredit facility. It is launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. It is to be known that the decision to start the SVANidhi scheme was taken by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the meeting of the Union Cabinet on 1st of June 2020. Clear? When this scheme was introduced basically on 1st June 2020. Next one, very, very important. This is very, very important also. The second phase of the scheme. When was the second phase of the scheme was started? Basically from August 18, 2021. Clear? From August 18, 2021. Clear? Basically when was the second phase of the scheme was started? Basically on August 18, 2021. Under the scheme, what is the urban street vendors of the first phase? Clear? What is main thing under second? Under this scheme, the urban street vendors of the first phase who fully paid the loan of rupees 10,000 becomes eligible for a loan of rupees 20,000. Clear? Basically the persons who fully pay the loan of 10,000, basically they are become eligible for the 20,000. Clear? In some places I will also read that if they are proper full paying the loan this, then they are eligible for further 50,000 loan. Clear? 50,000 loan. Clear? And one or two times basically we will expect this type of question. Clear? How much? Basically, first of all, basically when was the first phase was started? Clear? When was the first phase was started? Basically on 1st of June 2020, and first phase 1st of June 2020, and second phase 18th of August. Basically we can say that after 15th of August 2021. Clear? In the first phase, basically the loan is 10,000, and if they properly pay the loan, then the second is 20,000. Clear? So let's move further. So basically, what is this scheme? Clear? Basically, what is this scheme? All these are very short points, and that are definitely questions. Even they will ask case study from that. Clear? I go request to all of you, please go through all these points. Clear? What is this scheme? Clear? Basically, this is a central sector scheme to facilitate street vendors to access affordable working capital loan. Clear? First of all, this 10,000, it is what type of loan? It is basically working capital loan. Clear? It is working capital loan. So they will ask this type of question also. Basically, it is what type of loan? It is working capital loan. Clear? So this is a street vendor scheme, basically to facilitate street vendors to access affordable working capital loan for resuming their livelihood activities. Clear? Basically for what? For resuming their livelihood activities after easing of lockdown. Clear? Basically after easing of lockdown. Clear? So what is the rationale of the scheme? So basically the COVID-19 pandemic and consequent lockdowns basically have adversely impacted the livelihoods of street vendors. Clear? Basically, I think all of you are aware that basically in India, I think on 23rd March, 22nd or 23rd March 2020, complete lockdown was announced. Clear? So basically this leads to problem for most of the people in the country. Clear? That's why basically on 1st of June 2020, this scheme was launched. Clear? Basically, the COVID pandemic and consequent lockdowns basically have adversely impacted the livelihoods of street vendors. They usually work with the small capital base when they basically when they might have consumed during the lockdown. Clear? Which they might have consumed during the lockdown. Clear? Therefore, credit for working capital street vendors will be helpful to resume their livelihoods. Clear? Basically what? Basically, they are saying that why this is working capital loan. Basically, I think all of you are aware that basically when we are sanctioning any loan, clear? When the bankers sanctioning any loan, clear? Basically, one is working capital loan and other one is basically we can say that this is basically like limit. That is basically used for day-to-day purposes. Clear? Used for day-to-day purposes. Clear? That is working capital loan. Clear? So this is basically 10,000. It is basically working capital loan. Clear? So what are the objective of this scheme? Clear? Basically what are the objective of this scheme? First one is to facilitate working capital loan up to 10,000 at subsidized rate of interest. Clear? What is the meaning of subsidized rate of interest? We will also discuss. Clear? To incentive regular repayment of loan. Clear? If any borrower pays the loan regularly, clear, proper installments, clear, then incentive will be provided to them to reward digital transactions. Clear? If they will do digital transaction in that account, clear, it will also beneficial. Clear? Basically how much it is beneficial for them, we will discuss regarding that. Clear? In the upcoming slides. Clear? Next one is basically what are the salient features of this scheme? Basically initial working capital 10,000 and interest subsidy. Clear? Basically and interest subsidy on timely or early repayment basically at the rate of 7%. Clear? Interest subsidy on timely or early repayment, it is 7%. Monthly cashback incentives on digital transactions. Clear? Very, very important. It is basically monthly cashback incentives on digital transactions and higher loan eligibility on timely repayment of the first loan. Clear? Which we have already discussed in the starting of the session. Basically higher loan eligibility basically on timely repayment of the first loan. Clear? On timely repayment of the first loan. Next one, basically we have to move that Who is the target beneficiary? Clear? Who is the target beneficiary for this scheme? Street vendors or hawkers vending in urban areas. Clear? As on before March 24, 2020. Clear? Basically, those vendors. Clear? Basically, to whom this loan is to be given. Basically, who are registered with the municipal committees, or we can say that corporations. Clear? Basically, that they have to be registered at somewhere. Clear? And the registration date is to be before 24th of March 2020. Clear? Including the vendors of surrounding peri-urban and rural areas. Clear? So you have to remember this data also. Clear? This is also important. Clear? Street vendors, hawkers, basically vending in urban areas, basically as on or before March 24, 2020, including the vendors of surrounding peri-urban and rural areas. Clear? Next is basically who is a street vendor or hawker. Clear? Who is a street vendor or hawker? Basically any person engaged in vending of articles, goods, wares, food items, or merchandise of daily use, or offering services to the public. Clear? Or offering services to the public in a street, footpath, pavement, etc. Clear? From a temporary build-up structure. Clear? Temporary build-up structure, basically by moving from place to place. Clear? From place to place. Clear? That is basically known as street vendor or hawker. Clear? So which institution will provide credit? Clear? Basically who will give the loan? Clear? Scheduled commercial banks, regional rural banks, small finance banks, cooperative banks, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, and microfinance institutions and SHG. Clear? All are basically eligible for providing credit under PM SVANidhi scheme. Clear? Basically all are eligible basically for providing credit under PM SVANidhi scheme. Clear? Next one. What is the tenure? Clear? Basically what is the tenure of the scheme? Clear? Basically up to how much the scheme shall be implemented up to March 2022. Clear? Basically the scheme shall be implemented up to March 2022. Clear? 2022. So please tell fast, I am audible to all of you properly or not, as some students are facing issue. So basically what is the tenure? Tenure is basically March 2022. Clear? This is the tenure. Next one is basically, now we will discuss basically some important frequently asked question basically for the beneficiaries. Clear? Basically these are all the journal points. Clear? These are all the journal points. Clear? Hope all the journal points are clear to all of you. Basically I think basically many of you are already aware all these things, but not properly. Clear? As per exam point of view, not properly aware regarding all these things as per the exam point of view. Clear? So now move to the next one is basically some important facts clear regarding that. So first one is, what is the amount of initial working capital loan? That is amount for initial working capital loan is 10,000. Clear? 10,000. So I have an identity card, certificate of vending. How can I apply? Clear? Basically a person comes to the bank that or visit any shop that I have an identity card or I have also registered. So how can I apply for the loan? Clear? Basically you can approach a banking correspondent agent of microfinance institution in your areas. Clear? They will help you. Clear? Basically they will help you in filing up the application and upload the documents in a mobile app or portal. Clear? And next basically what they will do, basically upload the documents in a mobile app or portal. Clear? Upload the documents in a mobile app or portal. Clear? Next one, how will I know that I am the surveyed list? Clear? Basically you can assess the information. All this information is available on the basically Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs website. Clear? Urban Affairs website. Clear? But one thing more, these persons basically many of the street vendors are not that much literate that they can able to these things. Clear? That are able to do these types of things. So basically they will take the help of the business correspondent agent. Clear? Basically they will take the help of them. Next one is basically what they are saying, that basically my name is in the list of surveyed vendors, but I do not have any identity card or certificate of vending. Clear? Basically my name is in the list, but I don't have any identity card or certificate of vending. Can I avail the loan? If yes, then how can? Clear? This is the question. They say they are asking basically if like Ram is in the list of surveyed vendors, but Ram does not have identity card or certificate of vending. Can they sanction the loan? Yes, they can sanction the loan. Clear? Just you can still avail the scheme benefits. Provisional certificate of vending would be issued to vendors through an IT-based platform. Clear? Through an IT-based platform, the BC or agent basically will help you in filing up application and portal and upload the documents in a mobile app or a portal. Clear? Basically, what is the main thing that you can even get the loan also if your name is not in the, if you don't have any identity card or certificate of a vending. Clear? Next one is, but not, there is basically, these are basically simple things. Basically, they are saying that that is around the city, but not included in the survey. How? Wait a minute. How can I avail the benefits of the scheme? Clear, the scheme is available to vendors of surrounding development, peri-urban, rural areas, vending in the geographical limits of the cities, towns, and those are out of the survey. Clear, if you belong to this category, you have to produce one of the following documents to obtain the letter of recommendation from ULB or TVC. Clear? Like documents of past loan taken from a bank, NBFC or MFI for the purpose of vending. If you are a member of street vendor associated like NASVI, NHF, SEVA, etc., clear, SCW, etc., your membership details. Clear? Basically, you have to provide these things for getting the benefit of this scheme. Clear? Or any other documents to prove you that you are a vendor. Clear? You can also request ULB through a simple application on white paper to conduct local inquiry to ascertain the genuineness of your claim. Clear? After shifting of LOR, letter of recommendation, you may approach BC agent to apply for the loan. Clear? Then these are very, very important. 7th point. Clear? Basically, what are the KYC documents required in addition to this letter of recommendation? Clear? Or we can say that identity card. Clear? So what is the main thing here is to be, you may carry any of the following documents basically for the KYC purpose. Clear? For the KYC purpose. Clear? Aadhaar card, voter identity card, driving license, Manrega card, and PAN card. Clear? One thing I will tell you, basically OVD documents. Clear? Under the OVD documents, basically we have not included the PAN card. Clear? We have not included the PAN card, but here basically they are saying that basically KYC documents. Clear? KYC documents which are to be required basically while applying the loan. So basically all these documents are to be required. Clear? All these documents are to be required. Aadhaar card, voter identity card, driving license, Manrega card, or PAN card. Clear? You have to any two. Clear? Basically you can say that you have to any one or two these types of documents. Clear? We can say that any one of the document is also favorable. Clear? Possible for carrying your loan. Clear? Next one basically. So what is the rate and amount of interest subsidy? Clear? What is the rate and amount of interest subsidy? Clear? The rate of interest subsidy is 7%. Clear? Here the rate of interest subsidy is 7%. Clear? The interest subsidy. Clear? This question they have already asked. Clear? When it will be credited? Clear? Interest subsidy. When it will be credited? It will be credited quarterly. Clear? Interest subsidy will be credited quarterly. Clear? The rate of interest subsidy is 7%. The interest subsidy amount will be credited directly in your account on quarterly basis. Clear? Basically on what basis? On quarterly basis. Clear? In case of early payment. Clear? In case of early payment, the admissible amount of subsidy will be credited in one go. Clear? Like if the person take the loan and close the loan basically after 3 months. Clear? And close the loan basically after 3 months, then they will get the subsidy or not? Yes. Clear? The interest subsidy amount will be credited directly in your account on quarterly basis. Clear? In case of early payment. Clear? Basically in case of early payment, the admissible amount of subsidy. Clear? Basically in case of early payment, the admissible amount of subsidy will be credited in one go. Clear? The admissible amount of subsidy basically will be credited in one go for a loan of 10,000. Clear? Basically how much? Basically 10,000 loan, and basically how many EMIs? Basically 1 year. Tenure is 1 year or 12 EMIs. And how much subsidy? Clear? And how much interest subsidy basically they will get? 400 rupees. Clear? Basically approximately 400 rupees as interest subsidy amount. Clear? So do I need to give any collateral to avail this loan? No. there is no collateral requirement. Clear? There is no requirement of the collateral for basically for availing this loan. Clear? Next one, basically what is the amount of incentive for digital transaction? Clear? Next one, basically which we have to understand here is what is the amount of incentive basically for digital transaction. So the onboard vendors, clear, basically the onboard vendors would be provided. Clear? The onboard vendors basically would be provided with a monthly cashback. Clear? Basically with the monthly cashback in the range of 50 to 100 rupees. Clear? Basically with the monthly cashback in the range of basically 50 to 100 rupees as per the following criteria. Clear? As per the following criteria. Clear? What is first one is on executing 50 eligible transactions. Clear? If you are doing 50 eligible transactions, clear, then basically how much incentive you will get? Rupees 50. Clear? Rupees 50. Clear? And one thing more, basically like you, if you are doing continuously 1 rupee, 1 rupee, 1 rupee digital transaction, it will covered under that eligible transaction. No, this is not covered. Clear? And minimum digital transaction, minimum amount of digital transaction is to be rupees 25. Clear? It is to be rupees 25. Clear? Each transaction basically rupees 20 above greater than 25 will be counted. Clear? So what is the amount of incentive for digital transaction? The onboard vendors would be provided basically with a monthly cashback in the range of 50 to 100 rupees as per the following criteria. Clear? First one is on executing 50 eligible transaction, rupees 50. Second one is basically on executing the next 50 eligible transaction. Clear? Initially 50 to 100, 50 transaction, they will get 50 to 100 rupees. And after next 50 transaction, basically they will get 50 rupees. Additional 25 rupees. And next 100 transaction more, they will get additional 25 rupees more. Clear? Basically in this way, the amount of incentive would be categorized. So next one is, I am not familiar with the digital transaction. Clear? Same case basically which we have discussed in the study, that they are not that much literate, so they are not able to do the transaction. Clear? I am not familiar with basically with the digital transaction. Will there be any capacity building for doing that? Clear? How can basically I will take benefit of that? Clear? Basically of incentives of digital transaction. Clear? So an agent from MFI, clear, microfinance institution basically, or payment aggregator, will approach you to onboard, clear, and help in connecting sample transaction. Clear? Basically they will help you how to do these types of transaction. And what they will do, basically you will be provided with a debit card and a QR code. Clear? QR code. And one question for my side, basically for all of you, basically what is the full form of QR here? Clear? What is the full form of QR here? Basically students who have gone through the session, they will know basically what is the full form of QR. So I request to all of you, please tell basically what is the full form of QR here. Clear? Next one is there an incentive for timely or early repayment of loan? Yes. Yes, on timely or early repayment of loans of initial working capital, a vendor becomes eligible to basically avail a higher tranche or loan in the next cycle. Clear? Or loan in the next cycle. Like this scheme was launched on 1st of June 2020. And basically second phase is 18th of August 2021. Clear? And if the person fulfills or pays the loan of 10,000 in the first cycle, clear, then they are eligible to get 20,000 loan. Clear? 20,000 loan. Clear? Is there any penalty? Clear? Is there any penalty for repayment of loan before the scheduled date? Yes, there is not any penalty. Clear? Is there any penalty for repayment of loan before the scheduled date? Is there any penalty or not? No, there is not such any penalty. Clear? There is not any such penalty. Clear? For pre-closure of the loan. Clear? For pre-closure of the loan. Clear? So what is the full form of QR? Basically some students are responding. I request all of you, please other students respond also. Quick response. Clear? QR basically known as basically quick response. Clear? This question they have already asked in the in the retail examination. Clear? What is the full form of QR? Clear? In the QR code, basically what is the full form of QR? So you have to remember that basically it is quick response. Clear? It is basically quick response. So next one, basically how can I enhance my chances of availing this loan? Basically either you can become a member of the common interest group, CIG, or you can formed by ULB, or you can member of the joint liability group. Clear? Basically formed by a lending institution. Clear? So basically these are enhancing your chances to avail this loan. Clear? Either to become a part of the common interest group formed by ULB, or joint liability group basically formed by the lending institution. Clear? Or joint liability group basically formed by a lending institution. Now move to the last slide of the PM SVANidhi. Basically, who can I approach to avail the facility? Basically, you may meet a member of the SHG, self-help group, or ALF or CLF, or call toll-free number. Clear? What is the toll-free number? This is given also on the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs website. Clear? So will I get identity card for you? Yes. You will be issued provisional identity card on approval of loan. Clear? And the permanent ID basically will be issued within 30 days. Clear? So yes, you will be issued provisional identity card basically on approval of loan, and permanent ID will be issued basically after 30 days. Clear? After 30 days. How long it will take to get to the loan approved? Clear? Basically, complete process will be automated through a mobile app and web portal. You will be able to check the real-time status of your application. Clear? You will be able to check the real-time status of your application whole process. Clear? If paper information communication is complete, so basically the loan will be sanctioned basically within or less than 30 days. Clear? Less than 30 days. Clear? And if you are facing problem or not satisfying with the service, so where you can complain? Clear? Who should I contact for grievance? Basically, in case of any grievance, you may contact the following officer in the ministry. Basically, director NULM. Clear? National. Basically, NULM. Basically, this is the complete address. Clear? Basically, why I'm giving that is basically wants to understand. Basically, this scheme is launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Clear? Basically, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Clear? Basically, these are schemes very important. Clear? Basically, very important for the examination point of view. And one thing basically we have left here, basically NULM full form. Clear? NULM full form. So can anyone tell basically what is the full form of NULM? Clear? And for basically national, U for urban, L for livelihood. Clear? National urban livelihood. M for mission. M for mission. Clear? So this is the basically the full form of NULM. Clear? So basically this leads to the completion of this scheme, basically that is PM SVANidhi. Clear? Hope all of you basically like this scheme. PM SVANidhi basically helps to understand some important points which they will ask in your examination. Clear? So basically in the next class, basically we'll provide you basically schemes in this format. Next, basically we like PM SVY, PM JGBY, PM JGBY, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, PM JGBY, or fourth one is APY, PMMY, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Sukanya Samriddhi account, PF account. Clear? Provident fund account. So basically we have to discuss all these schemes. Like one thing is more stand up India. So I request all of you, if you have remember any latest scheme basically which are going in the market, you can also tell. Clear? Even we can expect like there is one earlier, basically there are COVID loans. Clear? But continuously COVID is depressing the business. So basically one more thing will be started by GECL. Clear? Basically GECL, that is basically known as granted emergency credit limit. Clear? Granted emergency credit limit. Clear? So basically this is basically like we can say that 10%. Clear? Basically whatever loan you are getting, basically this is maximum is 10%. Clear? GECL. Clear? Now basically GECL extension is also given 1.1, 2.1. Clear? 2.0, 1.0. Clear? So basically these types of question sometimes they will ask. Clear? So you have to aware regarding all these things. Clear? So basically in this session we have to discuss up to this much point. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.